Hello, everyone. Welcome again. So, today, the system design, data estimation, uh, I want to give one more very common example, which again can be generalized in any of the system design problems wherever you need storing and streaming videos, data estimations. So, let's say you have a content delivery system design problem which is asked to you in an interview, and now they have a component where they are targeting to store and I'm sorry, store and stream videos. How you gonna interpret that particular problem, how you should, upfront ask some clarifying questions, and then most important thing, how you should convert those things into numbers, because numbers are the facts on the ground. These are the numbers which gives the real impression of what you are thinking, what is your thought process, what is the strategy that you're making to come to a number. Let's say a very good decision making part which would play the crucial role about your system design. So going and let's go and dig into that. So let's say we have a question coming right from the interviewer for a system design problem, for example, content delivery or anything like that. Estimate the storage and bandwidth required for a video platform with 100 with 10,000 videos, 1 GB each. Assume 1 million users stream 30% of the library monthly at 1080p, which is 5 megabytes per second. All right. So they're asking two things. One, estimate the storage and bandwidth required. These are the two things, storage and bandwidth, for a video platform with 10,000 videos, and size of each video is 1 GB. And now you assume that 1 million users stream 30% of the library monthly, meaning out of 10,000 videos, they stream 1 million users at 30% of the library, okay, at 1080p, 5 megabytes per second. So, this is the question, how you should estimate the storage and bandwidth. So, let's go and dig into that part. Clarifying requirements upfront, which you should ask if you didn't get it to the interviewer. Total videos. How many videos? 10,000, which you get it from the question, problem statement. Video size 1 GB each. Monthly users 1 million. Streaming rate 5 megabytes per second. So 5 megabytes per second is the streaming rate. Now, storage. We will talk two things here, storage and bandwidth. So, storage. So, storage is 10,000 total videos multiplied by 1 GB. So it will be 10 terabyte of total storage we would need in order to store 10,000 videos, right? All right. Now, bandwidth requirement. They say 30% of all videos, so 30% of 10,000, which will be around 3,000 videos, they are streamed per month. Every month, all the users around the world, 30% of the videos are being streamed. Okay, so this is very simple maths. You can just do zero point 0.3 of 10,000. It will come out to be 3,000 videos streamed per month. Now, each stream, okay, each stream, it's coming as 5 Mbps, right? And they stream it for 1 hour, like every 1 hour they stream it. So you need to understand what is the speed of the average stream for 1 hour streaming. So it would be 5 Mbps multiplied by 1 hour. All right. So when you do this 5 Mbps multiplied by 1 hour, so it would be around 2.25 GB per hour, because this 5 Mbps multiplied by 1 hour. And when you talk about the number where we are targeting, what is in GB, because we have to, whenever we talk about very big size of, I would say, data. So whenever we talk about, like, say, what is the stream rate when we are streaming a video for 1 hour. All right. So Mbps was something in per second. Now, per hour, if we need to calculate it, we need to do some maths, right? So, what is that math we need to do? So, 5, let me explain you in simple word, like 5 Mbps, right? So, 5 Mbps multiplied by 1 hour is equal to is 2.25 GB per hour, right? So we have to understand how. Now, I will explain you in a very simple, simplistic way how this is happening. So let's break down this thing into step by step. 5 megabits per second. It refers to 5 megabits. What does it mean? Meaning 5 megabits are transmitted every second, isn't it? That's why it is called 5 megabits. So whatever the stream that you are in, you're getting in. So the speed of that stream is like 5 megabits, bits and mega, right? They are transmitted every second. Now, 1 byte is 8 bits, right? 1 byte is 8 bits. So over here, 5 megabits, okay, would be equivalent to data transfers in megabits per second. So 5 Mbps, which when you convert into, I would say bytes, because 1 byte is 8 bits, okay. So 5 Mbps is something when you convert it into like 5 mega bits per second into megabytes per second. So what you will do, you will simply say here 5 mbps divide by division by 8. Why we are dividing by 8? Because this is megabits per second, and now you have to convert bits into byte first. So 5 mbps divided by 8 will give you 0.625 m megabytes per second, right? So this 5 mbps actually is nothing but it is 0.625 megabytes per second. Now there are 3600 seconds in an hour, right? Because over here we are targeting 3600 seconds. You should memorize also this thing, that 1 hour is 3600, right, seconds. So 1 hour, 3600 seconds, 5 megabit per second. We have to convert into bytes, right? So would be 0.625 megabytes per second. So now 0.625 megabytes per second multiplied by 3600 seconds, it would be around 2250 megabytes. Now, megabytes, right? Now, 2250, it's again something 2 and then 3 digits after that, meaning some 3 zeros, right? So it would be around 2.2 GBs or something like that, or 2.25 GB. So that is the reason when we say 1 hour, if a stream is 5 megabits per second, is equal to 2.25 GB. Is that, I think I made it very clear, right? So I'm just trying to explain you, it's not that much difficult. It's very easy to understand. These are all the standards, numbers. So all the streaming rate is something which you can understand. Like if it is a 5 mbps, you can just say 5 and then multiplied by 1 hour, it is 2.25 GB per hour of the streaming rate. So yeah. um so now coming to the next part is total bandwidth, right? So bandwidth is what? Bandwidth is number of videos stream, okay, multiplied by each stream size. So 3000 multiplied by 2.25 GB. So it would be 6.75 terabyte of data per month has been streamed. Okay, so the total bandwidth of the data that has been streamed is 6.75 terabyte. Okay, so total storage is 10 TB, and if user is getting a stream of 5 Mbps uh, for 1 hour, then we would be broadcasting, we would be saying that bandwidth of the total data that has been streamed to the users would be 3000 multiplied by 2.25 GB, which is 6.75 terabyte per month. So again, coming to the question, estimate the storage and bandwidth requirement for a video platform with 10,000 videos, 1 GB each. Assume 1 million users stream 30% of the library monthly at 1080p, 5 Mbps. So total storage is 10 TB, 10,000 multiplied by 1 GB, 10 TB. Bandwidth, again, we know the size, streaming rate 5 Mbps. So bandwidth, we always try to give, you know, a, in GBs, or because bandwidth is something which we never give it in bits per second, right? Because it's rarely we talk about bandwidth in bits per second. Whenever we talk about system design, very big systems, it's always, good to have in GBs, terabytes, or petabytes, these numbers, because bandwidth, uh, for big system design problems, is always going to be much huge or larger than having bits simply. So that is the reason why I was interested to convert 5 Mbps in a number which I can understand and explain to the user, for example in gbps, right? In GB. So 5 Mbps, if I say a system is streaming an hour continuously. So 5 Mbps is for bits per second. I will convert this into GB per hour. Okay. And the simple maths behind that is very simple. 5 small b is bits. When I put a capital B here, it will be byte. So first I convert 5 Mbps to 5 megabytes per second. Okay. Which will be point 6 or 25, because you have to divide it by 8, right? So and then what we will do, we will just convert this megabyte per second into multiplied by 3000, because 3000 are the videos that has been streamed. And then this will give you 2.25 GB per hour. M- I mean, when you multiply it, you can get 6.75 terabyte of per month bandwidth stream. Yeah, so approximately 10 terabyte for storage and 6.75 terabyte per month for bandwidth. Again, bandwidth is very important. Okay. If you want to ask me what is bandwidth, so it's a simple thing which is very common to be there in a world where we talk about how data is being streamed. So bandwidth is the maximum amount of data that is transmitted over a network connection in a given amount of time. It is commonly, started, the bandwidth always comes in like, what is the bandwidth of your, I would say, of your wireless connection? How frequent your data is coming in. So okay, it's 600 Mbps. Yeah, 1 Gbps, meaning 1 GB of data is traveling, okay, on your through your wireless. It's coming in like 1 Gbps, very huge speed. Similarly, if somebody say, okay, the speed is, it could be like 10 Mbps, and then gigabits per second, megabits per second. But always remember, it's all about bits, right? Whenever you talk about bandwidth, you always get that small bits, not byte. So always when you talk about very huge systems, okay. So let's say your wireless network sends you 1 Gbps, means 1 gigabits per second. And now somebody asks you, hey, for the whole day, what is the bandwidth of the data that you get? Let's say if you have 1 Gbps speed. Really? I can tell you. It's very easy. I know 1 Gbps is my per second speed. I will convert 1 Gbps first into GB per hour. All right. And then I know how many videos I'm watching in, how long I'm being watching in my, whatever, Netflix or whatever it is. And then I multiplied that to the number of, uh, I would say, number of videos that I'm planning to watch. And then we know that here we are first converting this Mbps or Gbps into GB per hour, right? And then we can convert this GB per hour into GB per day. And then it's very simple, right? For one day, I can easily tell what is the speed, what is the bandwidth, or for a total stream, what is the data I'm getting in for a stream. So if a stream is 1 Gbps, I can easily tell what can be the stream for what is the stream data for one day, and then I can multiply it by number of videos that I'm watching in, and it would be very fairly simple. So bandwidth is the maximum amount of that data that can be transmitted over a network connection in a given amount of time. So capacity, not speed. Remember, bandwidth refers to the capacity of a network connection, not the actual speed. This is not the actual speed. Think of it as the width of a highway. Okay, the wider the highway, the higher bandwidth. The more cars, the more data can travel at the same time. However, it doesn't dictate how fast the cars move. So never ever try to get confused that bandwidth is where we are talking about speed. No, we are not talking about speed. Bandwidth is where we're talking about the capacity of a network connection, right? Not the actual speed. So unit of measurement is also something, as I said, smallest unit is bits per second. Then you can have your uh, megabits per second, then gigabits per second for higher network like fiber connections. They are always in Gbps. Okay. For common internet services, you get in Mbps. Then type of bandwidths are there. You have different bandwidth for upload, for download. Why I'm explaining all this? Because this is connected to bandwidth, right? I will cover this bandwidth in a separate session where when we will be talking about bandwidth, latency, throughput, and all those um, common uh, paradigms or common terms in which we use in system design problems. Okay, but yeah, just for this video, because we covered the bandwidth in this question, it is very important to understand what is this bandwidth, not speed. Always remember, it's capacity, right? A higher bandwidth allows for smoother streaming, faster downloads, and better performance in data heavy applications. If the actual usage exceeds the available bandwidth, the connection might slow down or become unstable. So, thank you very much for watching this video. I will be coming with another very good example